Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker. Today what we're going to be talking about is do I think I've been spoiled by riding this bike for a week up and down to work? Have I been spoiled by the modern technology? Have I been spoiled by the modern comfort? All fair questions, and actually quite a few people, because I was posting about this bike over the week. I've had it on Instagram a lot, just because I was interested. Like, the thing is, right, with modern bikes, I'm not saying they're better. I'm not saying I'm ever gonna go out and buy one, which we'll get to during the course of the video. But one thing that they do really well is, obviously, they're very, very pretty. They're very nice. They look great. But the other thing is, it's kind of like what I'm going to compare this to, because they're both German, is Porsche. So imagine your uncle, and in this case my uncle gave me this bike for the week. Again, thank you very much, Dermot. I really appreciate it. You're a gent. Everyone say thank you, Dermot, in the comments if you're enjoying this video, to let him know that you appreciate the support people like him give small channels like myself. I couldn't have made this video without him. I couldn't have made any of the videos I've made on this bike without his support and his trust, giving me this thing for the week, which is a lot of trust. This is obviously a very nice bike. So, you know, there's a lot of pluses to having something like this for up and down to work. Even the fact, you know, that the speedo, the revs tell you that the engine isn't warm enough yet to rev it up high. Like, it's something that, okay, obviously, look, I knew that. I don't do that with my own bike. It's a lot of people would say, oh, it's common sense, but like, not everyone has the mind power to think of that early in the morning. And, you know, doesn't have the mind power to think a lot of things in the morning. It is actually, I will admit, it's a nice little coloured red reminder. It's like, hey, don't rev me that high yet, I'm not warmed up. So that, you know, there's lots of little nice touches, and that's at the start of this video. I'm just going to go through kind of what I've really enjoyed about having a super modern spaceship for the week. And obviously, like I said, I'm comparing this to a Porsche because it is like upper echelons of cost of motorbikes. Obviously, Porsches are much more expensive than this bike, but as bikes go, relatively, this is quite high up there expense wise. Oh, look, the guards with his thing. What lovely people out at this hour doing that, and everyone's on the way home from work. What a great guy. What a great guy. So yeah, you know, some of the other things I like are, and you'll see it now when we get onto some of the back roads, the headlights on this thing are phenomenal. And that's one thing that I've really enjoyed about being on this bike, is the headlights. To be honest, it's something that I feel I have been spoiled by. I don't know if everyone here watching rides in the dark a lot. It's kind of unavoidable in Ireland in winter, because it gets dark quite early. I suppose it's up to each person whether you ride in the dark. Obviously you can avoid it. But for me, it's because I want to be on my bikes, and obviously my uncle's bike, I kind of can't avoid it. And it's something I never realized that they were as not good relatively as modern lights, until obviously I tried this at night. It is it's like a step change, you know what I mean? It's a factor of 10 greater, these LEDs. Just the aim of them, the coverage on the road, they're just so much better. Even, you know, obviously when cars are coming against you, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see that at home. I might stop and adjust my GoPro settings. I'll see how I feel. But it's something that I definitely didn't realize that was as relatively not good on older bikes as it is on new modern fancy spaceships like this one. Is the lights. Like these, look at them, look at the reflection in the car in front. They're so bright, the coverage off them is so good. And whatever about the dims, your driving lights, when you throw on your headlights, phenomenal. What is going on up here? Other things which I think are worth mentioning, I really am not sure what's going on up here, is, you know, the likes of the quick shifter. So this has an up and down quick shifter, and that is a modern amenity that I liked so much that I went and bought a third party one from Vector QS and put it on my Gixxer. You know, other things obviously that I have also added to one of my other bikes that this has is heated grips. Nice. Another modern amenity that I'll throw on in a minute just to demonstrate it. Now we're not on road to use it, so just as a little aside, when I come on the way to work, I would use cruise control, because I use the motorway to get down here a bit faster, because obviously you're on the way to work, it's in the morning. I don't not enjoy my morning spins. I do enjoy them. It's just you know, it's the morning. I just want to get to work. I want to stay in bed as long as possible, then get to work afterwards, get the job done. And then on the way home, like this, I generally take the nicer roads when they're not being ruined by probably drunk people. I'm really not sure what's wrong with this person, but there's something severely wrong with them. Yeah, so, you know, cruise control was nice, but definitely not something that it's not something I feel like I'll miss too much after the week. Just because, you know, it's one of those things. It's definitely a nice to have, and I'm not saying that if I was looking at another bike for commuting and stuff that I wouldn't look for something with cruise control. I probably would, because I'll pop it on here. So set it to the speed limit, or we'll set it like 70 below the speed limit, just in case you see anything else in a few minutes. So we're just there now, and I can take my hand off, rest it. It's a nice to have. It's not, it's honestly though, it's not something that, you know, next week I'm going to be back riding my CBF and I'm going to be like, oh, you know what, I really miss cruise control, because like on this road, I don't need it, you know what I mean? It's the only place I'd use it is the motorway. And in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, people who disagree with me, don't throw all of your toys out of the pram and get very upset. Bikes aren't for the motorway. I like, if I was buying a bike to primarily use the motorway, I'd buy a car, and that's just the way it is, because really the motorway is for throwing on a podcast, drinking a cup of coffee and just relaxing, and that is all I do. But I have to say, having the option of cruise control, even on a road like this on a crappy night, it just allows me to kind of sit back, relax, talk to you guys, and enjoy the spin of it. Other than that, like a lot of the modern technology bits that I probably don't even realize are helping as much as they probably are, especially in conditions like today, is, you know, the likes of your modern traction control, your cornering ABS, that six-axis IMU, or I think it's a six-axis. Yeah, it is a six-axis IMU. And this one, you know, that gives you all your fancy bits. There is so much stuff that you can be said. And here's the thing, right? I know a lot of people think I'm like a technology skeptic, but I'm not, right? I appreciate modern technology on bikes. I do. That is the truth. It's just that I've never particularly wanted it. You know, like ABS absolutely could save your ass at some point, but I think it takes away a bit of feel. Not on this bike. The brakes on this bike are phenomenal, to be honest. I didn't think they were as good as they are when I did the test ride on it, the first ride. But now after using it for, you know, 400 or 500 kilometers, I can really appreciate that they're a really good brake. You know, there's excellent feel in them. They're just really, really good. And you know, I can't take away from that even with the ABS that's there, they are a really good brake. There's lots of feel, and you can really put the anchors on the thing. Another thing that I feel people are going to think I will mention is, you know, the TFT screen and stuff. But this was actually, I put a post up on Instagram recently enough talking about, you know, how I love analog screens, and it wasn't actually, I thought it'd be a little bit more divided. It wasn't as divided as I thought it might be. But there was still really good conversations out of it. One of them with Dean of Motomax Suspension, you know, who made a very fair point. And this is the thing, I'm always open to having conversations. No opinion of mine is ever 100% fixed. I base my whole life on the information and facts that I have at the time, and you know, my feeling on them. If someone was to display something that proved me completely wrong, I would accept that, apologise if I needed to apologise, and move on with my newly minted information, which I think a lot of people need to learn to do. Nothing is ever black and white, nothing is really ever set in stone, except actually, yeah, nothing, because weather erosion, like even something set in stone just gets eroded by time. Anyway, that is far too detailed for what we're talking about. You know, there's a lot of other pluses to be said for the fact that I have a lot of extra information on the screen that I otherwise wouldn't have. But to be honest, most of it I find kinda pointless. You know, like the lean stuff, yeah, it's nice, I don't really care. You know, my DTC percentage, I don't really care, which I've actually never had to come on either, by the way. Your braking max effort, again, it's fine. The only thing that's nice is your distance till empty on the screen for your fuel, and also you do have fuel economy. But all of this stuff is stuff that I kind of calculate out myself anyway when I'm filling up my tank. And you know, look, I get it. It's nice to have something to do that for you, but again, it's a nice to have. It's not something that I'd be like, if I went out to get a bike, I'd be like, I really want that. I don't really want it. It's nice. But it's fine. It's fine. That's all I'll say. What else? Is there anything else? Yeah, like I said, okay, yeah, the way the suspension adjusts with the modes, that's pretty cool. I will admit, modes are something I don't really use. I've had this in dynamic the whole week, and the weather has been kind of like this, so I don't know. I'm sure modes are useful. I'm sure if there was heavier rain, I would put it into rain mode. But like for me, I'll just pop it into rain mode here. No, another click, rain mode, open, close the throttle, there we go. Like, that feels so much more dead. It doesn't feel like the bike should. You know what I mean? Like, I know the power is still there, it's just, no, not for me. You see, personally, I prefer getting to know my throttle feel, and I just know how much throttle to apply at that point, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm like an amazing rider or anything. I'm not. I'm definitely not an amazing rider. It's just pretty much experience. The cornering lights, actually, you'll see them here come hopefully pop on as you get past the degree. Look, there you go, the cornering light pops on, which kind of looks through the corner, and that's a cool feature. I do like that. But to be honest, I think the thing I like the most about this modern spaceship bike has been, you know, the quick shifter up and down, quick shifter auto blipper, and the lights. The lights have been phenomenal. I really am a fan. Like, just to put it into perspective, so I'm going to throw on the full lights now. There's the full lights. Like, I can see everything, you know what I mean? It's weird how it kind of shows up the bumps in the road better than the old halogen bulbs, or whatever those bulbs are. They're halogen, aren't they? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. They're just, the whole place is lit up, and I love it. It's something that definitely, if I was buying a new bike, I would definitely be having a look at the headlights. Now that I have experienced these, it is something I want. So, you know, the whole point of this video is, have I been spoiled by modern technology? Yeah, maybe a little bit. The lights, that's something that's obviously not easy to retrofit, and probably not madly available to retrofit. I say that now, and I haven't checked yet. So, you know, maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, definitely, if that was something that was available as like a kit to retrofit some actually really good lights that were aimed, whoa, as well as this one, that was bad. I think it's something I'd go for, you know what I mean? It'll be a worthwhile investment. Hello. That's my bike friend. I ride past him like pretty much every single day on the way home. If you know that guy, I think it's an R6 he has, tell him the GorillaBiker says hello. and we must actually stop and have a chat someday as we pass each other to and from work, because literally every day we do it, so it'll be cool to say hello. So kinda, I suppose, what didn't I like? So I don't like the auto cancelling indicators. I thought they sucked, to be honest. They were just really annoying. They always cancelled at the wrong time, and they were just overall, they were really annoying. I'm not a huge fan either of the throttle by wire. I find it a little bit more vague than cable driven throttles. And by the way, the difference is cable driven throttles, you have like a physical wire cable, steel cable, connecting your throttle to your throttle bodies or your butterflies or your carbs or whatever. So there is a physical mechanical link between you turning the throttle and your bike going a bit faster, and I like that, because I personally can feel it, I notice it. There is a difference. Now as the week went on, as I got more used to this throttle by wire, it's fine. You can give really smooth inputs and stuff, and it definitely takes out on like throttle by cable bikes, so standard regular ones, I suppose, or I don't know what you call them, maybe not standard or regular. You do have situations where when you throttle back on, because you have slack in the lines, you have to have slack in the lines for turning left and right. Sometimes you get a kind of a jerk out of them if they're not 100% right, which is kind of half unpleasant sometimes. So it is nice that it definitely has that mapped out, and the map on this bike is fantastic, I will say that as well. It's very pleasant. It's a very pleasant place to be and to ride. But yeah, so I think, right, have I been spoiled by modern bikes and their modern amenities? No, I don't think so. The damage that was done quite a while ago was quick shifter already, and these lights, I will definitely miss them on the way home from work. I will not lie to you, they are absolutely fantastic. The turning lights on them are brilliant, and I don't know, maybe I don't realise it, but maybe I will miss all the little electronics that are kind of always there, that just have my back on the way home in this weather. You know, they're just waiting there in the background. If something slips, you know, they're there to catch you, I suppose, is the thing. And I don't know, maybe that's actually a nice thing. I haven't never noticed them, so if they're doing anything, they're very inobtrusive, and you know, maybe it's a nice thing. I honestly, I can't answer the question because I haven't noticed them, so I don't know, I missed them. But for me, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I need those type of electronics. Ride modes, I won't miss them because I haven't used them. The lights, the up and down quick shifter, they were all really nice, and yeah, I suppose just the whole newness of it. The thing is, it's sweet as a nut. There's nothing wrong with this bike. It is perfect, and that was also nice. You know, because there's always on an older bike, one that gets ridden all the time, there's always one or two things that are wrong or going wrong that you know you have to fix, and you just don't have this. You don't have that in this bike, which is really cool. And I kind of get it. I get why people who can afford to change their bike every few years, because they don't have to worry about all those little bits, and that must be nice. Not saying that, you know, it bothers me, because it doesn't. I actually like working on my bikes, as anyone who watches this channel knows. These grips are getting a little bit too hot now at this hour, so turn them down a little bit. Weird rut in the road there. Didn't like the bike. Turn down your freaking lights, you dope. What's wrong with your full lights on? Yeah, that's kind of it really. But like, yeah, I get it. I understand why people do the whole switcheroo every few years and get another new bike. I get it now. I didn't always get it, but now I get it. And there's not many better bikes, I suppose, that could have shown me what that was like. So yeah, I think that covers it all. If you have any questions on anything I've said, let me know in the comments below. Please do hit the like button and subscribe. As always, a very special thank you to all of my patrons. You're all legends. And then also a very special thank you to my uncle. I really do appreciate you giving me the bike. I hope you watch this video. I know you watch some of them, and see all of the people saying thanks Dermot in the comments, and also yes, everyone, please say thanks Dermot in the comments so he knows. And yes, until next time, thank you very much again for watching. Adios. Outro crew, what about you? Let me know. Have you ridden like a super modern bike, and has it spoiled the experience of older bikes for you? Personally, I like the new bikes, like I just said, but I don't think it spoiled the experience. If anything, it's made me appreciate the little bits that old bikes have that little bit more. This has been a fantastic week on this bike, I'm not gonna lie, but to be honest, I think it'd be interesting to see if I got an older cool bike that was in as good condition and tried that for the week, how I'd feel. Is it just the fact that I had a different bike for the week? Was that part of the appeal? Anyway, it is time for me to say goodbye to this bike and goodbye to you all. Bye.